Grounded 2 is full of unique weapons, but unless you know where to look, they'll remain hidden and you'll never get to tap into their awesome power. My name is Kodiak, this is Legacy Gaming, and today we're taking a look at 8 of the most powerful unique weapons in Grounded 2, where to find them, and how to make the most of their unique effects. One of the first unique weapons you'll most likely run across in Grounded 2 is the Gloom Skewer, a one-handed spear that is perfect for the mid-game because it'll still give you flexibility to use torches or a shield while it's equipped. However, getting this weapon is no easy feat, as you'll need to brave the toxic anthill located here and descend into its very depths to secure your prize. It goes without saying that you'll need to create and wear the gas mask, which you unlock once you analyze a Weevil nose. Wearing one while exploring the toxic anthill is essential, as it keeps the poisonous damage over time effect at bay. Now, I'm not going to give you turn-by-turn instructions because that'll be nearly impossible to do in these winding anthill labyrinths, but the key is to reach this gray, rocky part of the dungeon. That's when you know you're in the right area. There are multiple ways to go even at this point, but you're looking for the cockroach and then the queen cockroach in the final chamber. Now, a fair warning, you will need both an ant buggy and a rank 2 omniax to get to the final room and then reach the Gloom Skewer weapon, which is hidden in the back of the room behind some overgrown mushrooms that you'll need to chop down. But if you do that, you'll have what is most likely your first unique weapon. The real appeal to all of the uniques in Grounded 2 are the passive effects that come baked into the weapon, and in the case of the Gloom Skewer, that effect is called Gaping Wound. When using a charged attack, your spear now reduces the enemy's resistance to stab damage for a short period of time. This is powerful, but you need to utilize the effect to justify using the Gloom Skewer as a weapon. This is also incredibly potent when in combination with other co-op players that are also using stab weapons. Located deep in the lair of a wolf spider is a unique one-handed slashing weapon called the Crimson Avenger. This sword is incredible, especially if you pick it up early in your adventures, because it has the potential to be a weapon you reliably call on depending on your situation. To find the Crimson Avenger, you first need to head far north to the Spider Den anthill located here. There are multiple entrances, but it really doesn't matter which one you choose, because either way you'll most likely come face to face with a wolf spider at some point during your time stomping through its home. Because of the nature of these anthills, it's very hard to give you turn-by-turn instructions, but the key is to keep heading down until you hear the beeping sound of orc enemies. Locate them and you'll soon enter a gray rocky part of the dungeon, which is the section right before the unique weapon. Work through this area until eventually you reach the Memorial Crate, an underground point of interest that loreheads will be interested in exploring. However, we're not here for bits of story, we're here for the loot. In the back corner is a piece of gum with the weapon sticking out of the side. You will need a rank 2 Omni Shovel to extract the gum, freeing the weapon, but once you do that, you'll have access to the Crimson Avenger. Now, this weapon is powerful for one reason and one reason alone. It is a spider killer. When equipped and engaging a spider, you'll have an increased chance to critical hit. Crits are easy enough to identify, you just need to look for the splash of bug goo as you hit an enemy, and this deals substantially more damage. In multiplayer, having a co-op member of your team be the de facto spider slaughterer is absolutely essential, especially as you venture deeper into the park and face the more densely populated nests and lairs. Believe me, the Crimson Avenger is worth picking up early. If you're constantly on the front lines going toe-to-toe with wolf spiders and praying mantis, then you'll want the Scarlet Aegis, a unique heavy shield that has insane block strength and a passive effect that actually ties into your buggy. To find the Scarlet Aegis, you'll want to venture into this small cave here. We did it as part of the main story quest, but there's nothing stopping you from doing it at any point after you have the red soldier ant buggy. Break the roots blocking the cave's entrance and head down and clear out the enemies below. There are quite a few, but eventually you'll reach an area with a breakable wall. As always, breakable walls mean secrets just beyond, so you'll need to craft a Brot Burst if you want to gain access. Think of Brot Bursts as throwable bug grenades, and yeah, now you have a solution for your wall. Blow up the wall, head inside, and loot the chest, and you'll find the unique item you've been hunting. The Scarlet Aegis has a passive effect called Parry Buggy Heal, which does exactly what it sounds like. Heals your buggy every time you parry. We talk about this in our Wish I Knew Sooner tips and tricks video, but using your buggy as a tank is an incredibly powerful combat technique. Not only does your buggy hold aggro, but they deal decent damage as well. However, buggy aggro isn't perfect, and you'll also have to deal with enemies attacking you alongside your mount, which is why the Scarlet Aegis is perfect, because now when you parry, your buggy will heal, ensuring that both you and your buggy stay in the fight. Far to the north, deep within the embers of a still smoldering fire pit, is Heatwave, a unique mage weapon that every caster will want to pick up at some point during their Grounded 2 experience. Much like the ice cream cart, which requires chill resistance, in order to safely obtain Heatwave, you'll need sizzling resistance gear. This means a full set of sizzling armor, which, while technically a mage set, is the only thing that's going to keep you safe from the sizzling damage over time effect. You'll also want to concoct a few mint Tito's at the smoothie station, which, when used, immediately removes some sizzling status and increases your resistance to sizzling damage for a moderate period of time. You might also want to consider crafting a few lingonberry bandages, which have the cooling gel effect, which reduces your sizzle buildup and prevents burning damage for a short period of time. Lingonberry bandages are only unlocked once you analyze Garden Snail Slime. If you haven't figured out how to kill snails, then definitely check out our Ultimate Bug Guide, where we walk through the location and techniques for killing every bug currently in Grounded 2, including the snail. With all of your sizzling resistance gear crafted and equipped, you can head to the Melted Army Men up north. Around that area and inside the fire pit are a number of enemies, including cockroaches and bombardier beetles. We had the extra challenge of fending off an orc wave during our exploration of the POI, which I don't recommend. Once inside, you'll first want to climb to the top of the fire pit and collect the Mega Milk Molar next to the hot dog, but then you'll want to head all the way to the bottom of the pit. At the base of the Action Hero's head are some pieces of Everchar coal. Smack those with your rank 2 Omni Hammer and you'll reveal a small chamber. Inside, just laying on the ground, is the Heatwave. This weapon is identical to its Scorching Orb counterpart, with one clear addition, a passive effect called Finale Warmth, which reduces your chill buildup on the final hit of a 3-hit combo. Yes, this is incredibly niche, but useful in the right situations. If there's one weapon we think everyone needs to pick up, it's the Ice Sickles, a deadly pair of daggers that might be the most challenging unique weapons to obtain currently in the game. That's because they're hidden deep within the ice cream cart, which is an absolute slog of a point of interest due to two things: an insane amount of scorpions and the fact that you take constant chill damage within this zone. However, there are things you can do to counteract or even negate the chill effect, and you'll want to do some variation of that, or this challenge will be next to impossible. So for starters, you'll want to craft and equip a full set of fuzzy armor. The fuzzy mucklucks are unlocked when you analyze bug rubber, and the fuzzy hat and fuzzy parka are unlocked once you analyze the lingonberry leather. On top of that, you'll want to bring somewhere between 5 to 10 Blazin' Brew, a smoothie that removes the chill effect and grants you extra resistance to chill for a period of time. This recipe is unlocked once you analyze the lingonberry chunk. Finally, and this is going the extra mile, you can head to the Melted Army Men in the far north and harvest some Everchar coal, which is easier said than done since you need sizzling resistance gear, but if you do that, you can analyze and unlock the Everchar Torch, which provides warmth to you and your allies nearby, resisting chill. With all of those things equipped and active, you won't have to worry about the chill, but that's only part of the equation. You'll want to enter the ice cream cart from this spot, heading into the tunnel, and then immediately taking your first right. This will dump you out into a massive room. From here, head left and start climbing. Your goal is to reach the brass fixture that creates a bridge to another section of the cart. In this new room, you'll need to break the ice that's locking up the fan. You'll have to use your Omni Hammer rank 2, but once you destroy all the ice, the fan will jolt to life and move just enough for you to drop down between the blades and into a new area of the cart. Grab the Mega Milk Molar before heading through the tunnel and into the final area. In here, you'll see the icicles sticking out of a small mound. Interacting with them will trigger a defense gauntlet where you'll have to defend the icicles from an onslaught of scorpions. They will try to attack the daggers, and you have to protect them for 6 minutes straight without letting them lose all of their HP. If you manage to fend off and survive the masses, the weapons will release, and you'll be the proud owners of the icicles and the ability to craft them for your co-op allies. These are a relatively straightforward weapon, and on top of having incredible stats across the board, they also have a passive effect called Chilling Attack, which causes all of your attacks to chill and freeze enemies, which is incredibly useful now and I imagine well into the future as more content is added into the game. If you're into ranged weapons, then you'll want to unlock Bushwacker at some point during your Grounded 2 adventures. This is a bow located in the far northwest corner of the map, hidden deep within the lingonberry hedgerow. Much like the anthills, this one is a bit challenging to give you turn-by-turn directions for, so here are a few simple things to keep in mind. First is the entrance, which is here. You'll want to head into the hedgerow and start climbing. You're looking for a branch that takes you on the outside of the hedgerow while still ascending towards an upper section. Once you're there, you'll want to keep heading to the right. If you're running across spiderweb bridges, then you're in the right place. Use your Orb Weaver buggy mount to move across these without slowing down, and you'll eventually reach another section of the hedgerow with even more web bridges. If you've yet to unlock your Orb Weaver buggy, I recommend you check out this video, which walks you through how to obtain the mount, but also some other secret areas you'll want to explore. Continue climbing until you see a giant maple leaf and a small treasure chest perched right at the edge. Inside, you'll find the unique weapon we're hunting, the Bushwacker. This bow has a passive effect called Cheap Shot, which increases the damage of your first attack against any creature with full health. If you want to get fancy, you use this for your initial attack for that extra damage, then hot swap to something a bit more consistent throughout a fight. Either way, it's a unique bow and absolutely worth grabbing. My favorite unique weapon in Grounded 2 also happens to be the strangest. It's called the Pinchwhacker, and the only way to find it is if your curiosity takes you far to the north in Brookhollow Park. There you'll find a small cave, and inside will be your normal assortment of bugs and resources. If you're not looking closely, it's possible to miss a secret right in front of your eyes, a breakable wall, and a hidden chamber. In order to break the wall, you'll need to craft Bratwurst bombs, which you've most likely unlocked, but potentially never used. These are throwable explosives that you can purchase the recipe for from the science shop in the early parts of the game, but up until this point, really haven't been worth crafting. Bring one or two to this breakable wall, throw one down, and voila, access to a secret chamber. Inside, you'll find some story stuff, but the real prize is there on the swivel chair, the Pinchwhacker. This is a one-handed weapon with mediocre damage, speed, and critical hit, but high stun. However, what we actually care about is the passive effect, Finale Short Circuit. When attacking, the third hit in your combination emits a large AoE shock, dealing a burst of damage to the primary target as well as other targets nearby. That alone makes up for the lackluster swing damage and makes this an absolute must-have weapon. Grounded 2's early access period is capped off with the reintroduction of the spicy Coaltana, a powerful two-handed sword that was originally added to the first game. In order to get the spicy Coaltana, you need to defeat the Masked Stranger, which is part of the main story quest. We're not going to go into all the details outlining every step of the quest, because at this point, you're all experts at navigating quests within games. But what I will say is the first encounter against this boss is no joke, so come prepared. The Masked Stranger uses a series of raid boss style mechanics such as jump attacks and lunges, all of which can be blocked or avoided using the new dodge system. I highly recommend bringing a few smoothies that enhance your character's abilities to attack and defend, as well as a Scorpido, which you might need for Phase 3. The Masked Stranger is weak to fresh attacks, so keep that in mind throughout the first and second phases. During Phase 3, the Masked Stranger calls down Bandit, her pet wolf spider. It's weak to spicy damage, so that's a good time to switch up your attacks, and make sure you have that Scorpido handy, as the enemy's venom can quite easily kill you in a matter of seconds. Use the pillars and the geometry of the room to avoid the spider's attacks, and if you manage to defeat Bandit, the Masked Stranger will run away, giving you access to the locked room below. Inside you'll find a few things, but for this video, all we care about is the sizzling key and the charred recipe. This unlocks the ability to craft the spicy Coaltana, but wait, there's more, because to craft this weapon, you need spicy globs, which are not easily accessible in this early access period of Grounded 2. To find the spicy globs, you'll need to head to this section, a small little alcove in the Pine Hill region, and dig up the buried treasure chest. Using your sizzling key, you can open the chest, and inside you'll find, wouldn't you know it, 2 spicy globs, just the right amount to craft 1 spicy Coaltana. This is currently one of the most powerful weapons in the game, with decent stats across the board, and a unique effect called Sizzling Attack, which adds sizzle damage to every swing of your weapon, allowing you to quickly burn down enemies for additional damage over time. So there you have it, 8 unique weapons, where to find them, and the special effects that make them absolute game changers in Brookhollow Park. If you have any questions or find more unique items, do me a favor, leave us a comment down below, or better yet, join us on Discord and reach out to Livid or myself directly. We love hearing from you guys, so check the link below and join today. As always, if you appreciate the work that goes into making guides like this, do me a solid, hit that thumbs up, and consider subscribing. We'll have more Grounded 2 in your feed soon, so keep it here and never miss a thing. My name is Kodiak, and from everyone here at Legacy Gaming, thanks for watching, and play on.